Hi, welcome to my video. Excuse the background noise of a preteen 11-year-old whose voice is going up and down, so he doesn't realize how loud he's being. So this is where I put out the daily energy readings, and it is where I combine the energy work that I do and the tarot work that I do to bring you a narrative that helps you guide your day to your greatness, recognizing the energies you may feel within you, around you, and indeed within others. Take what resonates, as it is absolutely general. There is no offense to you ditching whatever does not resonate with you on any given day. This is for the 19th of May 2021. I just want to say a few things off the bat, rather psychic knowings, other ways and means I have of knowing, in that I know that it needs to be said now, is that a lot of you will already have been seeing or heard of the magnet thing, regarding the magnet thing. This is prevalent and true, and it is worrying, to say the least. These people are reading differently on an EMF reader, on a metal detector, and this is what we've been screaming out about from the start, well, many of us anyway. And so I wanted to look into that further. And so this is just outside of this reading, but still very necessary to say, in that there's some kind of conspiracy going down. I feel it's with the British government, but could also be the American, and could be simultaneously Germany too, in that metal detectors will be turned off when airports are allowed to fully, or not fully, but in a great deal reopen again, in particular in the UK. Why? Because otherwise they know they'll be going off. Every single person that has gone for this, they'll be going off. This opens the door for what we're seeing happening around the world, where the governments that are supposed to serve us, the many beings that are within those governments that are supposed to serve us, are actually working on the behest and are beholden to shadowy figures that, you know, puppet the strings. And so they are very much willing and able to be a part of a cog in the wheel of actually taking down their own countries from within, at the behest and at the wanting of these shadowy beings in the background. And this reasoning, this thing that they shut off the metallic machines, the metal machines, metal detectors, this actually allows people to get in with things that could harm. And so when it does come to, and this isn't fear mongering, this is just something I can see, and I can see that it would be a part of the plan. Hopefully it won't come about at all, but just be aware of it, in that everybody who is desperate to go on holiday, everybody is desperate to travel. I understand that absolutely. But really be discerning about the time and whereabouts that you travel, regarding plane flight in particular. But I feel more so that it would be a land thing, getting through what would usually be the security measures, you know, brought in from 9/11, being turned off. People will think at first that it's because of the metal that is now present, that is picked up by metal detectors. And it will be, to a great deal, but to another aspect of it, it is a great opportunity, and they don't waste any opportunity to allow certain people who are willing and able, or triggered into doing something quite nasty, bomb-wise. And so be aware of this when airports, in particular in the UK, start reopening properly, and be real discerning as to whether you need to travel just now. So that is intense for sure, and it is intense to actually go and witness. Go over to Bitchute and look at these videos of people, real people, who you can see the shock in some of their faces, many of them saying, I wasn't told this would happen. I wasn't told whatever this is would happen. What came to mind when I was looking at it just quickly, and I haven't watched many, I didn't need to. I find it very annoying and very difficult to watch because these people have been lied to, coerced, and manipulated, triggered even into going ahead for this procedure. And so it's difficult to watch and see in their faces that even when they're laughing out of shock, you can see in their eyes all of a sudden it dawning on them of like, oh shit, shit. And so I didn't need to see very much of it at all. But the thing that popped in my mind as I was watching it was, you remember when you were nursing and you made sure that you had all of the metal scissors and things out of your pocket when you were going into the MRI machine room? Because remember what you were taught would happen. Basically, if you don't know, the reason that you take metal off a person, or if they have like even metal, old metal fillings, or metal from an operation site of some sort, they have plastic that they cover it with to block the pull. What would happen potentially, you thought, if you walk into an MRI machine with your scissors in your pocket or what have you as a nurse, that they can go flying. And that's what immediately popped into my mind. And with the technology that they've got and that they have been building during the so-called pandemic, what happens when a certain frequency is switched up to those people? I do see people at less of a risk of that having reconsidered after just the first one. So if you're in that category, for sure, go with your discernment. But I do see for those that have already gotten the second, I do feel that that is going to move and replicate itself and migrate around the body. What happens when an MRI type machine energy frequency is set off? Kind of signals can be given to the inner self, kind of inner voices can you be able to hear if certain frequencies are set off. It's not to be taken lightly, for sure, and the ramifications of it, like I always say, are still to be seen fully. So with all that in mind, welcome to the 19th. We have the Three of Swords, on the bottom of the deck. This is the very painful card. This is the card that, none of us relish in this energy. It is a combination of the thoughts, the words. It's a combination of all of that. And it is, where the thoughts are affecting the heart chakra, those thoughts, those memories, those words really dig down deep. You can see right through the heart chakra, and we've all been through this energy, this process for different reasons, where you can literally feel, where it's represented that your thoughts are. You can feel your brain pound. You get a headache, and you get a heartache. And you feel the physical, you would think, somebody is physically, the emotional body has this physical effect on the energy point that is the heart chakra. And people will say, you've ripped my heart out. I feel like I've had my heart ripped out. Or, I can't get away from my thoughts. Very much the combination of the two here with the Three of Swords energy, and nobody relishes in it. What happens is that we do have with everything the duality of the energy, in that, yes, this is very painful energy to go through, but it is actually the duality of it, and the opposite of it is that you can grow so massively out of it because of the depth of pain, there is a depth of growth there available. There is a depth of understanding, of a grasping more of your own truth. There's a depth of building real firm foundations that really escalate your consciousness and your connectivity to yourself and to others. Conversely, also in the duality, there is the part of the aspect of this that people stay in the hurt too long. They stay and they build downwards. So where in the first part that I explained, you're building up from it, you come to the lower spectrum of this energy, and you start like building blocks down. So the roots dig deeper into the root of you. You start representing yourself through this pain, through this energy. Whereas if you're building on top of it, it is an aspect of a learning curve, but you're reaching for the sun. And lo and behold, on the bottom of the deck is the sun for the clarifying deck. So this is where there is true enlightenment available, true huge amounts of growth and expansion here available, and connectivity to self and to others and to your own truths and other truths. But there is also the converse side where you go down into the roots and you can't see that sun. Now, for a lot of you, whatever this pain represents, it represents loss, loved ones that have passed. In particular, one of you that have lost a child, a boy, a young man. It's hard and difficult to transition through. But you sort of have reached a point in your life again, for a lot of you, where you feel this same pain coming back, and it's like, have I not done this? Have I not been there? Does this have to happen? Why is this happening in my life? The reason is that predominantly for those that I'm speaking to and resonating with today is that at that point where you last felt this pain in your life, you did stay in that lower spectrum of that pain and anguish and hurt. And so we do then attract in the same energy, if not different characters, but the same energy, blueprint, imprint of a past time. So it does feel very much like you've time traveled to a time and space where you thought you'd gotten over this, you thought you'd dealt with this, you thought you'd done this. Hey, Theodore. Hi. So this is where you're revisited by yourself. You've drawn something into yourself. But the difference is with these energies is that right now the energies are there to support you, to enlighten you, to show you the way, to be able to support you through finding your path through this pain in order to start building up from it and building firm foundations of compassion and empathy and understanding from the pain that you have felt. And the absolute extreme opposites of these two energies show that, like a flower, instead you've built actually firm roots, because you've been in this pain for quite some time, even if it's been in your subconscious. So you've got rooting in this, but now that the sun is shining above you, you can reach like a flower, like a plant does. It reaches for the sun, but this time you are now a plant with, yes, firm roots in tragic, harsh experiences, but great roots. You have a greater chance and a greater opportunity to build even more. You're like a tree rather than a bush, because your roots can sustain that. You've been through the mill, you've experienced much, so your roots are there to, if you look at a tree, there's always the same amount of roots and expansion of roots as there are at the top, and they go even deeper so they can support the bigger tree at the top. And so this is you, and these are the opportunities that you have within these energies today, for sure. And the supportive energy is there for you to draw upon and really make this your day for truly letting go of the pain and anguish of an experience and being able to build yourself from it rather than degrade yourself from it, compost yourself from it. So it's a super powerful energy for those that choose to take it, for sure. This does represent what I mentioned at the start. There are a lot of people in the collective feeling betrayed right now and starting to, although you wouldn't know it in mainstream, starting to really question how they were manipulated, how certain things were negated out of conversations when getting the advice on the thing. This is real painful to them. But they're really seeing the wood for the trees because of the shock of this, because of the magnitude of this, pun intended. They are seeing that, you know, conspiracy theories aren't very much theories at the minute, are they? They're very much seemingly built on truth. And so this is where much growth can be had with this. Like I said, a lot of people will reconsider after seeing people around them having gotten the second, will reconsider and stick to just the one. And hopefully there's a way back from that point. A lot of people will be the biggest advocates for truth that are a part of that community, a part of that sector of the collective, that are recognizing and realizing that they've been manipulated. Certain things have been negated to be said out of conversations when they've gone for something via people that they trust. These are often the greatest talkers. These are often the greatest advocates for good change, because they can feel the betrayal, they can feel the pain, so they can speak to it and they can enlighten others. So that is a good thing also. And I feel there's going to be more people from that part of society actually rising up and joining ranks, so to speak, for the liberation of humanity and the out of offices all around the world of these puppets, and therefore bring the shadows out to see what we're dealing with fully. So interesting, strong energies for you to build upon. Now, the first card is the Queen of Swords in reverse, and it's an ouch card. The Queen of Swords in the upright, a dynamic, wonderful, intelligent, wisdom-filled queen who has earned her stripes in some of the harshest element, the element that haunts many, that is hard to grasp, you know, the element that is air, the words, the thoughts. Where do they come from? What are we influenced by? And so where in the upright she is a master of all of this, in the reverse she's a master of all of this, but for the negative energy, for the negative side of this card. And this is an energy that you do not mess with, for sure. On the American collective stage, the first woman that came into my mind, and I keep forgetting her name, but it's the vice president that is so-called vice president right now. That female, she came into my mind with this, and Hillary came into my mind with this, and this. Working as a team, working very much as a team to get certain things done. The Three of Cups comes in reverse. So usually this would be friendship and celebration. This is like, you know, sluggy energies, you know, meshing together from what I picked up from their point of view, in the lower parts of stagnation and just not nice energy at all. Working very much as a team to get things done, and just telling Biden what to say and when. And so there was that came up in your individual life. Watch out for this energy. This energy is cutthroat and will manipulate you, will have you begging for your life with her tongue, so to speak. And a lot of you might have been caught out, you know, looking outside of whatever this relationship is to you, with this Queen of Swords in reverse energy, and the Three of Cups in reverse, and it ain't going down well at all. You far better, you know, speak your truth and then do the action to move along right now, because this isn't going to stop. This is going to continue for quite some time. This energy does not let go of what is perceived betrayal. There is this stalker-like energy also for some that is very difficult to deal with, because in particular these energies would be the type of energies that then deliberately reach out to your friendship groups, to your friends, so that, you know, you would look crazy to say what they are doing to you or how they're making you feel. And so they are utilizing and using, and I've got to be honest, in some cases, some not so great friends to get at you. And so it is your job to be the Queen of Swords in the upright here and cut that off, you know, cut that off. If your friends can't have your 6, then cut it off. It's not time right now. It's not time right now to not be in connected tribe. It's not time right now to not be in respected and trusted tribe. It is time to be in respected, trusted and loving tribe that has your 6. If it's not that, then it's not good enough. It wasn't ever, but right now, more than ever, it is not good enough. So do your thing there. It speaks of the female parliamentarian. What's her name? Oh, what's her name? Which has basically been helping out people, well, they've been stopping others from going abroad in the UK, helping out people who are immigrants to get in and be looked after, very much in a mirror-like effect. You know, when you compare the scales of the sizes of the countries, to what Biden is doing in America, and I say Biden, but you know, to what is happening here in the UK also. Borders seem very lax and very confused, and so it's not that everybody is in on it. A lot of people are just fulfilling the roles and doing as they're told, and are just as indoctrinated as the next person standing next to them. But because of these confused rules, because of these things that aren't working properly, this is when the likes of cartels, this is when the likes of shadowy beings in government know when they can slip things in very easily. So they utilize something, they utilize a crisis, or they utilize lapse rules very much accordingly to their plans, and use them for all they're worth to get things going. Hey, baby. So looking out for that. This is a very negative female energy, and I've forgotten her name. I can see her face. In the UK, that is sort of organising this, if you can say that. For me, I see this being used as an opportunity to really increase, and we haven't had a huge meth problem. Yes, there's a lot of people that are addicted to meth in the UK, but we've never had like that wave of the huge wave, and this is maybe going to change. There is a lot of group work, a lot of cartel work happening in what would be a new market, so to speak, to bring meth in. So be aware of that if you're in the UK, for sure. That ain't going to be pretty if they get their way. And a lot of people are feeling desperate. A lot of people are feeling low and want that escapism. It won't escape you, it'll trap you. So if you haven't gone down that road, please avoid that road with everything that you've got, and be aware of teenagers, be aware of children who can be out of your sight, that they're not being influenced, because I do see, especially for the children within social services, a recruitment drive going on. So be aware of that. Moving parts, lots of people taking advantage of what the shadowy beings are trying to get done, and lots of smaller groups taking advantage to get done what they want to get done right now, and we are in the middle of it all. So we have the 7 of Cups as the next card, and this speaks of many options, many things to look at, many distractions, lots of things pulling on the emotions. time, speeding up. You haven't got time to focus on one thing when you're focusing all of a sudden on the next. This is a lot of castles in the sky, but not actually digging into something. And this is manufactured to be so right now. There are a lot of distractions, a lot of propaganda, a lot of things that are pulling on the emotions that are illusionary. Also, if you want to look at that psychedelic mushroom, when it's not used, the snake is licking it. So creation itself licking the mushroom of illusion and not being able to see your truth, to see your way forward, your path forward. So the 7 is very much a spiritual bridge number. So using this energy in its higher frequency would be to, in the higher frequency, be like the snake, looking deeper into not just the physical self, but into your spiritual self, into the soul level, and gaining direction from other aspects of yourself like that in your path forward and what you should go for first and really dig into first. The 2 of Pentacles, I know it keeps coming up. The 2 of Pentacles again, so there's this juggling, there's this, incessant trying to juggle 2 aspects of your material life that feel like they're getting torn further and further apart. And it takes a level of bravery. Once you start juggling in that infinite loop, and then others start to expect you to maintain that juggle, the 2 aspects of your material world, and this goes back to maybe you exploring outside of the relationship, the 2 aspects of your material world, there's expectations on both sides of those aspects. You start to juggle in that infinite loop. You forget that you're juggling until all of a sudden something has to be dropped. And this is where the 7 of Pentacles is coming in. You're losing concentration, you're losing direction, and you're getting tired. This energy juggling in the infinite is tiresome. It also speaks of deeper spiritual truth coming forward for those that choose to dig into this infinite loop that we are in, of creation and how it all works here, to be able to really dig deep and look at deeper spiritual reasonings for things within your life, within how things are set up here, beyond here, and really focusing in on that aspect of it. And that all of a sudden, when you're first coming into that, can feel like you are in the middle of an infinite loop, which sort of are. But it feels hard because you maybe aren't in the circle that you can talk about those kinds of inner standings and downloads that you've been getting spiritually, or the experiences that you would call paranormal that you've been having, or the greater inner standings that you have about this realm and where you're at and how we got here. It's difficult to be able to manage the 2 at first because you haven't attracted in yet. You will. You haven't attracted in yet those that would understand that, those that would listen to that and pay heed to that and have a kind of importance on what you say. So there's that, and you will come into that. That's just something to make note of, and it happens to everybody. And so, but there are lots of people finding the right people, connecting with the right people, and you can be absolutely one of them. But make sure that you're building up rather than digging down now. So we've got the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands as the last 2 cards. Queen of Wands came up yesterday and came up in a personal reading yesterday. So, there really is this surge of creative, divine, feminine energy around us and within us right now. And this cat, the goddess energy at her feet, guarding the beauty and femininity, the womb, the portal that is represented in this divine feminine figure. And so this is where we are learning how to be more sacred with self, learning how to see ourselves as a sacred being, and not just ourselves, but the physical manifestations, the physical stargates, portals that are wombs that we carry, and the importance that they holds, that kind of chamber, has been replicated in technology, and it has still not been replicated quite so beautifully as it is in this biological suit. And so to give reverence to that is to give reverence to the spiritual side of things, where the beings are entering in through a portal. And connecting the two is real important right now for the divine feminine energy. It also speaks to this goddess-like energy waking up, and waking up for sure, and being that protective goddess energy, that Ma Kali. And that's going to come in for sure with the children that we need to protect, that are being manipulated, and that they're going to push for younger and younger age groups to have the. And that's not the only concern, pushing for younger and younger age groups to, explore being transgender, not just explore it like children do explore naturally, but to be labeled by it at a very young age, defined by it at a very young age, and physically affected through medication at a very young age. And so it is up to us as individuals in our own lives to really give reverence to the womb, the feminine, the female, to give reverence to the beauty and creativity and intuition that we hold, females, and being able to really lean into that. And for the males comes the King of Pentacles, this masterful energy that is strategic and thoughtful and can delegate and is the protector. He is that bull in the field that, you come near his young, you come near his goddess, he's going to protect his field and all that are in it. And this is where we see a real reawakening of the masters in the divine masculine energies. And this is what we need, because for far too long, these secret societies, these cults that are churches, have been used and utilized to MK Ultra the F out of us regarding our divinities, regarding the physical beauty that these bodies hold, both male and female, and being allowed without guilt to give reverence to that and balance each other out with that, to have our own inner scales balanced with the divine feminine, divine masculine, but also to be able to find opposite sex, or even same sex. I don't care. It's more about, have they got their scales balanced? And if they have, them coming together and balancing each other out, complementing each other. So where the divine feminine energy in this couple, or would be couple, going to be couple, if you're transitioning out of that negative relationship, then it would be that you are balancing each other out and complementing each other. And you can finally, the females in that I'm speaking to, can finally feel like they can actually take time to reconnect and do the nurturing, the nutrition, the caring, the compassionate side of things, the psychic side of things, the fiery, passionate side of things that you feel driven to do, and while being guardian of your territory, of your sacred divine being, and those that you are in governance of. Because you can relax into that a bit more, because there's this master is turning up, and it is a master that also is absolutely comfortable being a divine masculine being reflected in a male figure within the relationship, that is able to protect and keep and take action where guided to by the divine feminine, to create more of, to create strong businesses, bring home strong amounts of sustainability, and for you to be able to relax into your creativity, for those that I'm speaking to today, to be able to do the same. So both are contributing, both are balancing and complementing each other out. It's not that either partner in this scenario or would-be partner is actually required for the other to be balanced. They're both coming together as balanced beings, being able to dip their scales, but very quickly recalibrate and go back into balance in whatever experience of life that they're in. Why? Because they've grown from such pain, and through that they've had such enlightenment. Some of the greatest light workers, some of the greatest antagonists for good change have been through the harshest life. I could say that too. They've been through the harshest cycles and learned a lot from it and gained a lot of enlightenment from it, remembered a lot from it. So this is beautiful, but it does take for you to take the steps to get here. Now, if you are not even thinking about a relationship and that is not even on your radar, this would represent you, your divine feminine, your divine masculine, everything I have just said, but in your own inner scales. And through this pain, through this hurt, really being able to learn how to recalibrate and rebalance and transmute that energy into what will be your greatness. Because to be in a balanced state of mind is to be a warrior, is to be a superhero. When you're balanced, you cannot be triggered. You cannot be made to be reactionary by outside forces. This takes a lot of weaponry from anybody who would seek to harm you or imbalance you or direct you in a certain direction. Far less coercible. Because you have this awareness of self. And so that is the reading for the 19th of May 2021. I hope you appreciated the advice and it helps you to reach your greatness today, and that you can take it on board and even build from it with your own wisdom as to how you can use it to your greatest ability for your greatest potentials. You absolute warriors. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Much love, much balance, and much wholeness. Mwah. Oh, please share. Yeah, I need to keep saying that. Please share. And if you want a personal reading with me, energy workflow sessions, or any spiritual coaching, email truedivinemedia@gmail.com, or you can get in touch with me at truedivine44 on Facebook, the other socials. There's too many to list. Just you hit me up on those just to say hi. I appreciate that too, because I can't remember them all to reel them all off. Much love, balance, and wholeness. Now it's goodbye. That's the end.